Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. branch of the Milwaukee Public Library. I am Library Director Joan Johnson. On behalf of our staff and the Library Board of Trustees, it is our honor to host Mayor Johnson for the annual State of the City address. Mayor Johnson is a lifetime library patron, a champion of MPL, and a former library trustee himself. We are so happy to have him here today. This is an exciting year for us. We will break ground later this year on a brand new King Library, a true jewel in Milwaukee Public Library's crown, named in honor of one of the greatest civil rights leaders in history. It will be our newest flagship location filled with inspiring spaces and resources for this dynamic neighborhood and for residents throughout our city. I invite you to offer your input about what you'd like to see in this new library when it opens in 2023. We want to hear what matters most to you. Tell us how we can best honor, serve, and reflect this important community and its residents. Feel free to visit us here at the library or offer your input at the npl.org website. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
Thank you, Joan. Each year we ask chief executives, presidents, governors, county executives, and mayors to appraise the state of their regions. It's an important evaluation. In this city, it's an opportunity to reflect on where we've been and, more importantly, where we're going. For Milwaukee, we're in the midst of challenge, of change, and of opportunity. Challenge because we continue to wrestle with long-standing and stubborn problems, including poverty, violence, inequity, and for the past 2 years, a pandemic. Change because we've reached a generational crossroads in which city and county leadership is in the midst of renewal. The same is happening in business and community leadership. Opportunity because Milwaukee has the strength and ability to achieve great things. The potential of Milwaukee, of our people, our economy, and our quality of life can be fulfilled for everyone in our city. Right now, public safety stands as the greatest challenge to our success. For 2 consecutive years, Milwaukee has endured homicide statistics we have never seen before. And let's be clear, these are not numbers, they're people. People with families and friends, people whose deaths leave emotional scars in our city. Over the last month, we've seen children shot and killed, a horrific murder of 6 people across the street from one of my childhood homes, 5 girls shot outside a high school basketball game, and 3 law enforcement officers wounded by gunfire. We need a renewed commitment to interrupting this violence and changing the trajectory of our city. We need to work together to keep guns out of the hands of people who should not have them. Right now, the city needs to focus on 3 public safety approaches. First, law enforcement needs resources and support. We need police, but police who are effective, respectful, and fair. We need our police department to undertake reforms so that policing is constitutional and community-focused. Under the leadership of Chief Jeffrey Norman, that's exactly what we can expect. This point hits home for me. When I was in my late teens, police stopped me, they ripped me from my car, demanded I sit on the curb, and while they searched my car without permission or without a warrant. Of course, they found nothing, but I can still feel the disrespect, the powerlessness, and yes, my anger from that encounter. Policing doesn't require that kind of tactic. The second approach for public safety is intervention. We're investing in the Office of Violence Prevention, where teams are on the ground supporting peace and healing. We're adding the largest investment ever, millions of dollars, into building safety in our neighborhoods. This provides the Violence Prevention Office with the support it needs to continue implementing the Blueprint for Peace. It includes expansion of the work to interrupt retaliatory violence. And we're bringing that into new neighborhoods, including on the South Side. Third, we must focus on prevention. Unless we address the root causes of crime and violence, we will not have a safe city. Poverty is a breeding ground for crime, so prevention must include greater economic opportunities, along with partnerships, early childhood and family supports, and improving our physical environment to reduce crime. We need the partnership of the state. Proper investment in violence interruption requires resources, and the judicial system needs to thoughtfully review bail practices. If an accused violent criminal is likely to harm or intimidate more people, then they belong in custody. Of course, none of this will succeed without residents throughout Milwaukee joining in. Police can't do it alone. They'll be the first ones to tell you, nor can the Office of Violence Prevention. We need the people of Milwaukee to step up, to engage in making Milwaukee safer. We need to build new, open lines of communication with neighbors and with law enforcement. We need to raise expectations of appropriate behavior for all members of our community. Step up and step forward if you have information that will help to solve a crime. The solution to another big challenge for Milwaukee also requires action from our residents. COVID-19 has killed more than 1,000 people here. It's infected nearly 150,000, some with lasting and debilitating consequences. It's disrupted our schools and our economy. Vaccination is our path back to normalcy, but too many people are avoiding this simple, safe, and free preventative step. Look, we've gone door to door. We've also offered vaccination clinics in just about every neighborhood. We've offered cash incentives, and we've pleaded with the holdouts. We need everyone to step up to the plate. If you're vaccinated, that's great. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. And if you've already gotten your vaccination, then get a booster. I'm proud of the work done by the people at the Milwaukee Health Department. From the outset, this city team has performed remarkably. Testing, contact tracing, vaccination, mass distribution, the health department has exceeded expectations every step of the way. As COVID moves from pandemic to endemic, the city's public health experts will continue to lead and to act, doing their very best to protect our residents. You know, the Milwaukee Public Library has been a health department partner in this pandemic. When COVID closed libraries, there were staff members redeployed to the health department, performing tasks like contact tracing. When more than 1 million masks were handed out, our libraries transformed into key distribution points in neighborhoods across the city. Our libraries are vital parts of our communities throughout Milwaukee, connecting residents with information, with culture, creativity, economic opportunity, and education. That's why we're investing in Milwaukee Public Libraries, including new libraries open on Mitchell Street and on Good Hope Road. As our library director, Joan Johnson, mentioned, the Milwaukee Martin Luther King Library branch at King Drive and Locust is up next for renewal. And right now, you can add your recommendations for what the inside of this new library should look like. That survey is online at the Milwaukee Public Library website. If you need a hand navigating to that survey or other parts of the internet, come on into a library. As always, there are librarians ready to assist. The money we need to invest in libraries, or for that matter in police, or in firefighters, or in the health department, that money is getting harder and harder to find. Our municipal finances are strained to an unsustainable extent. The property taxes we collect and the ability to raise revenues are severely limited by state law. The century-old partnership with the state called shared revenue has broken down, leaving the city of Milwaukee and local governments all across Wisconsin without the financial resources needed to deliver basic services. From potholes to police, we simply don't have the money we need to adequately serve our residents. Thoughtful legislators, both Republicans and Democrats, acknowledge the bind that Milwaukee is in. But recognizing the problem is just the first step. We need solutions, and we need them promptly. I'm working toward that goal, and I won't rest until we win the resources that we need. In this report on the state of the city, there's a lot of positive to talk about. We live in a city with great assets, natural resources, strong neighborhood associations, a history, and a future of economic success, and people who are dedicated and hardworking. Our cultural institutions, arts groups, and our sports teams are all adding to our quality of life. We embrace sustainability, and we're making progress establishing Milwaukee as an environmentally and socially smart community. We are committed to equity. Any objective look at Milwaukee must acknowledge the legacy of discrimination. As we mark Black History Month, we can agree that there have been too many examples of overt and passive hostility to Milwaukee's residents of color. That harm can be seen in education, in housing, and in economic opportunity. Justice, respect, and fundamental fairness has to be a part of Milwaukee's future. I'm committed to that, and I know the vast majority of people in Milwaukee are too. You can see this in our plans for economic development. Along with the Department of City Development, I am prioritizing investment and job creation in neighborhoods where they are needed the most. Yes, all of Milwaukee can be proud of the new buildings and new jobs in downtown. Let's expand on that. Let's add jobs and hope where they've been lacking. There are organizations and people throughout Milwaukee who are affecting positive change. I've praised the Milwaukee Health Department and its staff, and there are many other community health resources that have earned recognition. Places like the 16th Street Community Health Center and the Milwaukee Latino Health Coalition focused on the South Side. On the North Side, Milwaukee Health Services is another great resource. Damian Bookman is championing accessibility for all residents of our community with innovative efforts at sports and recreational facilities. Sherman Park is richer because of the efforts of Bishop Walter Harvey, Park Lawn Assembly of God, and Prism Economic Development Corporation. They're behind Upstart Kitchen, which is connecting food entrepreneurs with business opportunity. In education, there are other leaders who've earned recognition. Dr. Chris Herjong is building upon the Hmong American Peace Academy, a highly respected school, by opening its new high school just a few months ago. And Laura Gutierrez, the executive director of the United Community Center, brought her deep background in education to start a new early childhood school on the South Side. Later this month, America's Black Holocaust Museum reopens in Milwaukee's Bronzeville neighborhood under the leadership of Dr. Bert Davis. This is just a sampling of the countless number of people and organizations changing Milwaukee for the better. They recognize the life challenges so many in our city face. If we're to fully realize Milwaukee's potential, we must understand and address the hardships and barriers that keep so many from leading fulfilled lives. Poverty, a lack of affordable housing, too few family-supporting jobs, trauma, disability, educational shortfalls, and hopelessness, they're all factors. The solutions must involve city government, yes, but certainly not government alone. Partnerships are the path forward. I want the people of Milwaukee to feel that they are a part of reaching our goals of public safety, of economic strength, and of a greater quality of life for everyone. I'm committed to driving meaningful change with new approaches in city government. For us to succeed, our residents need to be more involved in our neighborhoods, in community organizations, in your church's activities, and in your children's schools. Be a part of the team and share in the responsibility for shaping the future of Milwaukee. Yes, I am optimistic about Milwaukee and what the coming years will bring our city and our residents. Good things are ahead, and it's time to get to work. Thank you.